Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to beautiful Planet Ite, and the concluding part of Project Overlord. That's what it's called. I was going to say Project Prometheus. They give so many names to this. Overlord, Prometheus, Vulcan, and Atlas. I mean, okay, all four of the stations are named after Greek gods. Prometheus, Atlas, Vulcan, and Hermes, the station we started on. And they all kind of make sense. Quite cool. Vulcan's the god of the forge, so obviously it's the lava power generating one. Prometheus was the one who stole fire for man. So I guess it's because we're stealing stuff from the Geth, not so clear. Hermes was the messenger, so he's the one which you use to send signals to the outside world, the communication station. Atlas just sounds cool, I guess. It's also technically underground, as you notice we drove past the waterfall to get to it. Here, by the way, outside is our final data package. So that completes the Data Hound sub-assignment, which gives you an achievement. Let's head into Atlas. Ooh. Hiccup Station, more like. Let's head into Atlas Station. So, that's a bit of an interesting reveal that Archer's brother, who's the one who's wired up to the VI, is autistic. And that's a really interesting concept, the idea of an autistic person's brain being more logical and mathematical and therefore being able to interface with the Geth in that way. And don't worry, over the course of this episode we certainly go into that in a fair bit more detail as we get... I get the feeling we're being fucked with. I guess we're heading through here then. That's an interesting one there. Elusive Man's going to shut us down if we don't get results. It's very interesting what perceived desperation will drive people to. We can now summon the elevator and get into cover. This seems to be a running theme in the old Mass Effect games. I'm going to get my arc projector up. I'm sure nothing bad's going to come out of that elevator, but you know, just in case. I didn't even do it right. So. Gotta use... There's a weird puzzle going on here. You've got two consoles. You've got that one there and that one there, both of which will bring the elevator up by 3 levels, and this button will bring it up by 2. It's weird. It's kind of supposed to be a puzzle, but it's more just a bit bizarre, and I always forget about it. Anyway, now you can see they're welding through the door, which isn't particularly encouraging. Now is when you want to be in cover. Because if you're not, then you get a prime to the face, and that can be unfortunate to say the least. I think his compatriots are mostly going to be dead at this point, but just in case they're not. Is everyone on... Have you not got Disrupt Ammo on? I don't have Disrupt Ammo on. Maybe he has got it on, hard to tell. Either way, that prime's mostly dead anyway, good couple of arcs to the face, did it. Over the course of this mission you get a lot of power cells, so I'll still be on a net profit in terms of arcs. When we're up close to Zaid, I'm gonna see... That's not Zaid, which is fortunate because he was dead and against a wall. Yeah, I guess Zaid took himself off Disruptor Ammo. You may have noticed as well, a little thing, the Geth that are infected by the VI have the same structures as the VI on it, kind of the green blocky and stuff everywhere. Oh. It's gone very Tower of Terror in here, hasn't it? I think I got myself stuck on a wall. That is stunning. Can I... Right. Nope, I'm legit trapped. Well, this is the stupidest thing that's ever happened to me! Note to self, stand in the middle of the elevator this time. I'm sure we've learned something very important from that. Apparently you can just get trapped there. Oh. Again, it's that same idea of like desperation. Elusive man needs to see results. I have to try, don't I? You can see he's already trying to kind of preemptively justify it to himself. There's a fair few things to grab around here. There's a bit of palladium and... Can I do anything against these Geth? They're just completely... Oh. I guess they're just plugged in, but dormant. Either way, there's a damaged one over here. I don't want serious injury. But yeah, bit of research there. The only actual bit of research on this entire mission. The only time the visualizer is updated, which is nice and easy work for me, which is great because I have to do a lot of editing on these. So having to not do a lot of editing will be wonderful. Oh, well that ain't right. Some shit's going real spooky here. I feel like we should push the button. Let's push the button.
Get ready. Don't be surprised if this button summons a Reaper.
So, it all gets a bit trippy here. We are kind of in a VR system, so we're still moving around the real world, but we've got this whole overlay over the top of it. We haven't got our squad mates, and that can really fuck you if you're not the right class on this mission. But you can still. This is spooky VR. So if you die in this VR, you still die in real life. There are real. Yes, you can still. Even though the enemies go all matrixy when you kill them, if you die in here, you still die in real life. So we are quite fortunate in that we are a very good anti-Geth class, but otherwise this one can give you a hell of a lot of shit.
Square root of 906.0 minus 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2.
Time on this project is running out. There are no options left. How to get the Geth's attention?
The robot says hello.
Eureka! David, you're a miracle worker.
Square root of 906.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2.
David, can you repeat my notes from Thursday's experiment?
Square root of 918.09 is 30.3.
David, please pay attention.
Loud. It's getting loud in here.
I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. Would you mind repeating my notes from Thursday's experiment?
Log 137.3. The experiment yielded no discernible patterns of Geth obedience. End dictation now, David. Hell, the elusive man will have my head for this.
Thank you. And how are you feeling today?
Square root back up to 24.16 and 30.4. Earplugs will be good.
David, I want you to order the Geth to take a step forward. How does he do it? David is a mathematical savant. His autistic mind can interpret the Geth language at its most basic form and mimic their phonetics. With his photographic memory, cross-referencing the meaning as a snap. He's literally a human computer.
And you think he can interface with the Geth's neural network?
I do.
Is that even safe, Doctor?
I see no harm in finding out.
Well, there's the vast majority of your your backstory into David and whatnot there. I really like this DLC, as I say. I think the gameplay's fun. I think the what the mission deals with is really interesting. This kind of whole concept of what kind of mind interface, interfaces with a VI one. My only issue with it is it still keeps pushing this cultural stereotype isn't quite the right word, but it kind of is. Idea that, right, so first thing we need to do here is we've got a lot of stuff to gather. You need to trigger an elevator, but first, palladium, power cells, this is what I was saying about, you get a lot of power cells here. Your heavy weapons up to like 14. As you've noticed, they give you a lot of like healing and heavy weapon ammo and stuff like that, just so you can definitely take everything on your own. There's also, I saw something say hardware. There we go. Let's get into a decent position here, bring my sniper up, and activate the elevator.
Warning. Elevator exceeds maximum weight capacity.
Oh good. Yeah, there's a reason I kind of got into cover here. Yeah, but as I say, I'm pretty well equipped for this, having AI hacking and what's it called, disruptor ammo and things like that. Ooh, did I shoot like between his legs? That was actually quite an impressive shot. I don't think I could have made that deliberately. I do like how they explode when you kill them into like matrix particles. What the fuck happened there? But yeah, one of the things it does, which I'm not too keen on, is it does perpetuate the stereotype that autistic people have superpowers, that they're all like mathematical geniuses and stuff like that, which isn't accurate, really, and kind of gives people unrealistic expectations of like, oh, you're autistic, so that sucks that you can't communicate with anyone, but at least you'll remember everything everyone says ever and be perfect at maths. It's like, that's not always the case, and I think it's a bit of a, I don't want to say dangerous stereotype, but one you don't necessarily want to be pushing so much. But other than that, I think it's really interesting.
Square root of 906.01 is 3.1. Square root of 912.04 is 3.2.
We're ready. Open a connection to the Geth network. David, no! Tell the Geth to stand down! Quiet, please make it stop!
Well, that's not good at all. So you've got these little nodes. If they work their way all the way to the edge, the upload happens. You've got progress in the bottom right. If you shoot them, they'll slide back towards the main body. Shoot them up, and they'll blow up, and that will expose the VI core. This is how you deal damage to it. At this point, you crack out the Widow, and you fire some lovely shots straight into the VI core. VI core, even. Oh, I should make sure that's reloaded, actually, so I don't screw myself over later when I need to make shots into it.
Pull the plug! Tell the Open Station to come all
It's too late. We've lost control.
Then he will now summon some Geth and start another upload. So here, these little disturbances are where the Geth will appear once you start breaking the connection. You can see now why, as well, I find the sound like all the sounds the Rogue VI makes I find really disturbing, and like they are creepy kind of sounds because it sounds like it's screaming at you, and it's way more disturbing when you find out at this point that what it's screaming is him going, make it stop. And right from the beginning, the first thing the VI says, if you know what you're listening for, you can very clearly tell it's someone shouting, please make it stop, which is really dark. And I think it's really well done.
You have to stop this!
David doesn't want to be here.
Like, I guess the only thing you could say is a criticism of this is the fact that it does feel like a story that's been done before. The kind of like plugging someone into a computer network and they kind of lose it, and then you get a kind of rogue AI VI system. It does feel a little bit like it's been done before, but I don't mind that much, because especially I'm largely of the opinion that there aren't actually that many. I very nearly died there. There aren't actually that many stories. No matter how you break it down, there aren't a great deal of them in total, because they're all, I don't want to say all stories telling the same thing, but there's a couple of narratives that humans just like and keep coming back to, for good reasons.
David, calm down! I can make all this go away if you'll let me!
And I think, yeah, while this is a story that perhaps doesn't feel like the most unique ever, it's interesting, and I feel like, importantly, I think it's done really well. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see, especially for people who haven't got a great deal of experience with Mass Effect or haven't played this DLC before or whatever. Let me know what you think. But I think it's really interesting. I think it's done really well, and there's a whole range of environments. There's a lot of cool gameplay stuff. I think it's got a lot going for it, which is awesome. It's really not giving me many shots on that thing. Oh god, there's 4 of them this time, and it's throwing more Geth at me. Wonderful. Can you just join me, please? Oh, okay, you're on fire now. That wasn't what I meant to do. As long as you kind of shoot these things a little bit, it'll say upload interrupted, and they'll kind of stop making their progress towards the connections. It's quite hard to fail this part, unless I say actually having the upload to the Normandy. So that's basically, in case you hadn't realised, what he's trying to do is use the Normandy as a relay to get his program off-world. And it just gave me heavy weapon ammo. Yeah, the upload happening, I think, isn't the real threat here. Just dying from being killed by the Geth is the real kind of threat. Do we get a second shot in? Yes, we do. Oh, it wasn't enough to kill it, really? Good lord. Well, there's one more bit of connection. Music, also just great. It has this kind of like just the one battle theme, but it's not like it's just using music from elsewhere in the game. It's had its own stuff, so that's why I say it feels like it's Firewalker, but it's high budget. And believe me, from here on, the DLC missions we'll be doing in this game are very much high budget, they all feel like, which is probably why they cost more, but worth it, I think. With the final connection down, let's take out the VI core.
Quiet. Please, make it stop.
Wait! Commander! I'm begging you. Don't do anything rash.
Rash? Like forcing your own brother into an experiment?
I know how this must look, but I never intended any harm to come to him. You must believe me. It's not like I planned this. It was an accident. Seeing David communicate with the Geth, it all seemed harmless.
I saw his memory. He begged you not to do this.
I was desperate. The elusive man doesn't broker failure. Any war we fight with the Geth will be bloody. I was asked to find a way to avoid that.
And how many have already died for this project?
More souls than will ever forgive me. But I won't apologize for radical ideas. If my work spares 1 million mothers mourning the loss of 1 million sons, my conscience will rest easy.
Look at him. Your brother would never be the same.
The damage may not be permanent. He might recover some semblance of his mind.
Cerberus will never leave him alone. Your brother will always be a lab rat.
But a well cared for lab rat. At least he'd still be alive.
So you'll sacrifice your brother's happiness for your own ambition.
Square root of 906.01 equals
30.1. What I've done to David is unethical. If he dies, it's unforgivable. Let me take care of him. Please.
Quiet. Please, make it stop.
I've seen enough of your cruelty to know he'll never be free from it here. I'm taking him away.
No, leave him! He's too valuable!
You even think about coming after your brother and this bullet will be waiting for you. Then we'll see who's valuable.
Where will you take him?
Grissom Academy. They can help special cases like David. Minus the torture. Joker, contact the Academy and let them know we've got someone who needs their help.
Aye, aye, Commander.
The elusive man can fire me if he doesn't like it.
Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless.
God, I must say, that final scene is so well done. I really like it. I think it's really, like, powerfully done when you kind of you see him, like, there. It made it, like, it's certainly the first time I played it, I remember it made me feel, like, really angry. I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? This isn't okay. When you see his notes when he's like, David might even enjoy this. He's like, yeah, I'll enjoy being, like, wired in that way, like, physically. Like, oh, it's really grim. But I think it is done really well. You'll notice, interestingly, there's the Paragon interrupt there, which doesn't do necessarily what you expect it to do. If you don't do the Paragon interrupt, nothing happens. If you do the Paragon interrupt, you smack him around the face. It's kind of one of the rare things when a Paragon interrupt is what could be called a renegade action, but I think completely justified. I can see Archer's point, and I can see what he was trying to do, but definitely lost way too much sight of his humanity there, and very much ends justifying the means, especially with his own brother. That's pretty rough. And there we have completed Project Overlord. So let me know in the comments kind of what you thought of it, because I think I've been a bit negative on the DLC so far, though I was quite positive about Kasumi's one. But that is a great bit of DLC. I really enjoy it for a lot of reasons. Oh, we can get some extra health, because we really need that. Not. But I'll take it anyway. And yeah, kind of, I think it's one of the stronger pieces of DLC in the game. There is one more, which I think is... There's two more in general. Well, three counting Zaid, actually. I keep forgetting I haven't done that. I think one of the remaining ones, Lair of the Shadow Broker, is just as good, if not possibly better. It's different. It's very different. But it's really good. But that one I think is great. We'll finally get a bit of conclusion on it. If we go into messages, we'll have Dr. Archer's brother from the Elusive Man. Shepard, I understand you've taken Dr. Archer's brother to Grissom Academy. I'm familiar with their work. It should be a good home for him. I don't condone Dr. Archer's actions, but they did provide a breakthrough we've been sorely lacking thus far. We'll likely never find another individual with David's unique talents. Though your decision is understandable, it has set our efforts back to understand the Geth back several years. I think that's a price worth paying. No, you can't be encouraging that kind of at all costs you must get results research, because it's unethical, it's dangerous, and it's wrong. Completely wrong. It kind of almost to some extent doesn't matter how many lives you save, because the fact is, when he's like, oh, it could save millions of lives, it could also not. And how sure he is of how many lives he'd save doesn't justify the fact that he's like, yeah, it might save lives, so we will go along with it anyway. You don't know how things are going to play out. It could end well, or it could end really badly, and that's a risk that, morally, I think you should not take. But there you have it. So I guess we'll call the episode there. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you join me next time, where we are going to be doing another bit of DLC, but this time it's Zaid's loyalty mission is what we're going to aim for next time. So hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much, and good day.